As the moon rose over the beaches of the caves where Branch Clan made their home, excitement began to itch under the pelts of all the Branch Clan cats. After many months in the nursery, tonight was the night when Moonkit would finally take her apprentice name and be assigned to a mentor, just as Wildpaw and Stonepaw before her had been. Except Moonkit's case was rather special. She was, after all, the young cat who carried the heavy burden of a powerful prophecy on her shoulders. From what Bearglow had told the clan, Moonkit would grow up to be a cat who held the very power to shape the clans and the stars themselves in her paws. But if she were to grow up into such a cat, who would her mentor be? Branch Star took a deep breath as he looked over the cats gathered around him. The clan leader was no fool, and he had been increasingly aware of a slow division of power among his clan, as the lines between Bearglow and himself were drawn even more firmly in the sand. Even the way the cats were sitting together for the apprentice ceremony told a story. Otterslip was looking proudly at the medicine cat that she praised for saving the lives of the kits of the clan. Earlier, she had fished up a choice bit of fish and carried it to the medicine den herself. Nightfrost sat coolly next to Bearglow and Misty Pond, as always, a gleaming and clean Moonkit beside her. And yet, on the other side of the cave sat Dawnstep and Quail-Eye, with Dawnstep casting a soft glare across the way at Bearglow. Branch Star was not entirely sure what had happened. Most likely, Bearglow had said something to offend Dawnstep, as prickly as she always was. But it hadn't escaped his notice that even with her glowering, Dawnstep hadn't spoken a word against Bearglow, even in complaint, for many moonrises now. And even though Quail-Eye was Branch Star's deputy, he was reluctant to listen when Branch Star expressed his concerns about the medicine cat, but did not seem particularly fond of Bearglow either. Just who controls this clan anyway? Branch Star thought, then twitched an ear and turned his attention to the ceremony that he was about to begin. Hopefully, the choice he would make would allow him to stand firm and lead his clan forward. With a deep sigh, he turned to Moonkit, thoughts of her passionate talk with him about her starry dreams swirling in his mind and tinging his thoughts with doubt. What was the best choice for this kit, fresh out of the nursery, with so much expectation on her shoulders? What really was the best choice for his clan? More and more, Branch Star was beginning to wonder if those choices were the same thing. Moonkit, from this moment on, you will be known as Moonpaw, Branch Star meowed, stilling himself with resolve. Since your birth, it seems StarClan has set you on a special path that will require only the best and most diligent training for you to meet your destiny. To help you get there, and to help guide you in learning how to best care for your clan, I will be your mentor. There were gasps from the gathered cats, and a furious, shocked hiss from Bearglow. What? The medicine cat hissed, his back arching in fury. Moonpaw is to be a medicine cat apprentice. She had a dream from StarClan themselves. The rest of the cats let out meows of shock and glanced between Branch Star and Bearglow, their eyes wide. Moonpaw shifted uncomfortably before the crowd and stared down at her paws. That she had a dream from StarClan should not be surprising, considering the prophecy she lives with, Branch Star replied evenly, his voice calm as he stared down the furious white medicine cat. And considering that prophecy, it is important that she learns how to be the very best warrior she can to defend and help her clan. As a medicine cat apprentice, she would only learn the most basic fighting skills. I, however, can teach her far more and prepare her better for her future. Bearglow let out a low, furious hiss and arched his back again, his rage filling the caves. Only I can prepare her for the future she has. I am telling you, StarClan demands this. She is to be my apprentice. I have made up my mind, Branch Star hissed, fury finally spiking his fur. For the sake of Moonpaw's future and the future of the clans that she is responsible for, I will give her only the best training. Or do you mean to challenge your clan leader, Bearglow? Bearglow almost seemed to grow larger with the force of the fury that radiated off of him. For a moment, his eyes glittered darkly, and Branch Star felt a whisper of fear as he was once again reminded of just how large and powerful a cat the medicine cat was. For a moment, Branch Star tensed, almost convinced that Bearglow would break all the traditions held sacred to a medicine cat and to clan life itself, and attack him. But a sudden nervous meow from Misty Pond made Bearglow pause and glance her way. Seeing the gathered Branch Clan cats staring at him in horror, Bearglow's expression immediately cleared, and he stepped back, dipping his head in consent. I am telling you, Branch Star, you are making a grave mistake. StarClan wants me to guide Moonpaw's paws, and no other. If you are going through with this, the clan will suffer because of your decision. And Bearglow paused and raised his head slowly, his eyes carrying regret and sorrow so powerful that it drove all thoughts from Branch Star's mind and brought soft gasps from several of the other cats. And I simply cannot stand to see this clan suffer. All I can do is ask you to make the right choice. With that, the medicine cat stood and padded out of the caves, his head low and tail dragging. For all his rage a moment ago, Bearglow truly seemed to be a cat broken-hearted and concerned for his clan, and Branch Star once again felt the waves of doubt lap at his thoughts. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Sims 3 Warrior Cats Challenge. And today we are with Branch Clan, and this is going to be the same day that we were with Moss Clan running around. So Dogaze is not yet on her way. She'll be on her way this evening in terms of the timeline, just so you guys don't get too confused. But this is when the Moonkit has grown up into Moonpaw, and you guys can see how Branch Star made a very bold decision in who was going to be her mentor, and he is actually going to be her mentor. And that did not make, as you could tell, Bearglow very happy whatsoever. So Bearglow is extremely upset about that. And then let's see. Oh, and I was going to note, look at this, you guys. Branch Star wants to become friends with Misty Pond. Best friends with Misty Pond. So I'm going to say that he kind of wants to try to get Misty Pond on his side, but he needs to prioritize. So let's see. Sniff Stonepaw, Sniff Wildkit. I'm sorry, Wildkit. Sniffing Moonpaw is something that he really wants to do. So yeah, Branch Star has decided that he is going to take Moonpaw under his wings, so to say, or under his paws, I should say, as his apprentice, because she is supposed to be a prophesized cat. She is supposed to have the prophecy to guide the clan, guide even the stars themselves, and that's a really important position. And he's also noticed Branch Star is not oblivious to the fact that Bearglow has been hissing at— what are you doing? What are you doing? He's taking out his anger, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that nonsense. Bearglow is taking out his anger about this whole situation almost on Dawn's step. What is this nonsense? And he wants to he wants to sniff Stonepaw. You better not be going to do anything nefarious. What? But then Stonepaw wants to socialize with Bearglow. I think Stonepaw is going to be a little bit worried about what all of that talk about StarClan and dreams from StarClan was, because Stonepaw is a spirit of the land cat. He is familiar with the spirit of the land. He is slowly but surely learning what it means to be in tune with the spirit of the land. So I think that Stonepaw wants to kind of talk to Bearglow, because why would he doubt Bearglow? Why would he not trust Bearglow not to have the clan's best interest at heart? But yeah, we are basically kind of running a parallel timeline. So like I said, don't get too confused, but this is going to be the same day that we were just with Moss Clan, and Dogaze will come later this evening. So probably the next episode is when Dogaze will arrive. All right, but it is morning time, so we need to get our best hunters out and about so that they can start gathering up some fish, because we do need to eat lots of fish. Oh, what's this? Go hunting! Yay! Sea Whisper, you want to do useful things. So we're going to send Sea Whisper over, because she is indeed one of our absolute best hunters. She's going to come fish. And then let's see, where's Otter Slip? Otter Slip is one of our best fishers as well. We're going to send her over. And Otter Slip really loves the morning hunting, and so does Sea Whisper. And I think we'll have— let's see, Trout Shadow's still sleeping. Let's do Wildpaw then, because Wildpaw is Otter Slip's apprentice. And so of course she should be over here, and she should be doing the morning hunting with the other cats. So we'll have them do 5 hunts over here for fish at the lake, and we'll have to see if they have any luck. And then Branch Star intends to train Moonpaw in this over here. So, oh, look at this. Moonpaw wants to chase Wildpaw. She also wants to sniff Wildpaw. And I noticed that she wants to sniff Oakpaw. So Moonpaw wants to sniff Oakpaw. I didn't see that coming. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But we're going to go ahead and have her start training. Does she have any skills? She does not have any skills just yet. So this is going to be her morning of training as a warrior with Branch Star. So we'll have to see what Moonkit thinks about this. That might be a very good question for the Q&A. And we'll have to see what the other cats think, because they just heard that StarClan themselves supposedly want Moonpaw— I should say Moonpaw, not Moonkit, sorry about that. But StarClan themselves want Moonpaw to become a medicine cat apprentice. So I wonder if that would make them kind of nervous that Branch Star seems to be putting his paw down and preventing her from doing that. So we'll have to see. All right, then what's going on over here? Oh, and now Bear Glow, he's not wasting any time. It looks like he's socializing with Stonepaw. See, things are always going on, and even though it may look like really casual moments, don't forget, you guys, this is all the game merging with what we do and our interpretations to create a pretty darn awesome story. So these two are socializing, and that's a little bit interesting. Quail Eye, thankfully, has more or less recovered from his usual, bites from a venomous snake. So we might let him go hunting today. I think he might come over and maybe talk with Night Frost. Ooh, and Night Frost is actually off to go train with Misty Pond. That's interesting. All right. Oh, and Sea Whisper just caught a kissing Grommy. Too bad she doesn't really have a cat she might want to give that to. All right. And then Quail Eye is going to be sniffed. What are you doing, Bear Glow? You're supposed to come over here and you're supposed to... Oh, he already sniffed him. All right. I think Bear Glow would be a little bit upset and he wants to go catch things. So I think Bear Glow might have some plans in mind, and I'm going to wait and let's see. Let's get Bear Glow over here. But I've got something Bear Glow needs to do today. And let's see. Otter Slip wants to do some things. What does Quail Eye want to do? Sniff Sea Whisper, sniff Stonepaw. We can send him over to do that. And then I think that Quail Eye hopefully won't die, but I think he would want to start doing some hunting over here. And it is New Leaf. It is spring now. So we're going to have to see how that will change for Branch Clan's territory. And I promise you, Branch Clan's going to have some interesting changes coming up as time goes on over here. Ooh, a rainbow snail! Sea Whisper is on top of this. Are you kidding, Sea Whisper? Otter Slip is going to be beside herself with joy because that's a fairy damsel, which is one of the items. It's not a complete heal the way that a rainbow snail is, but a fairy damsel and a rainbow snail are both items that are used to keep kits alive. Oh my goodness. I think that is going to make a very happy Otter Slip because she's always worried. That's why she hasn't had any kits yet. She's been too worried that the kits would die. All right, Moonkit, what are you doing? Don't goof around with your mother. You need to come over here and learn the hunting skill. So let's see. You can't sniff Oak Paw, so get over here and don't hiss at Slate for crying out loud. Get over here and keep training with your mentor. I don't think he would let her go. I think Branch Star would really start putting some laser focus onto trying to train Moonpaw. And I wonder if that's going to make some of the other cats, like his kits, the other apprentices, maybe not feel their best. Because all of a sudden, Branch Star, their leader, is going to be focusing so intently on... Oh, hey, get over here and sniff this cat, would you? But Branch Star, their leader, is going to be focusing really intently on Moonpaw. So what's so special about her? And I know that Wildpaw definitely wouldn't appreciate that. And Slate, what the heck are you doing? Get over here and do some fishing. Come fish. You can do it, buddy. All right, those two are training. How's Bear Glow doing? Slate, you are fine. Get over here. Get over here and do some fishing. You're going to be able to pull it off, I promise. You always do. All right, Wildpaw caught a kissing Grommy. Otter Slip caught a toad. There's a goldfish involved in here somewhere. And Moonpaw just learned her very first hunting skills. Sweet. So Stonepaw, he'll come over and do some scratching. And Quail Eye... Oh, he's actually stalking for prey on his own. Sorry, Quail Eye. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of cats in Branch Clan, so it can be very stressful to try to keep everybody fed. But there's also a lot of hunting that happens as a result. So let's see. Sniff Lizard Paw. Anything else she wants to do? Not really. Dawn Step. So maybe she'll go sniff her mom. Because Dawn Step wouldn't be able to do any hunting. And I hope the Dawn Step would be okay. All right. Oh, and we got a jellyfish. That's good for stings and minor venomous bites. Dawn Step, where the heck are you? All right, and let's have Wildpaw come over, and she might complain. I have a feeling Wildpaw has a lot of her mother's characteristics in her, where she might come over here and start complaining about the special treatment that it seems Moonpaw seems to get left and right. All right, and then what's Bear Glow doing? And now that Bear Glow is done, I think he might come over and socialize with his sister for a second. So socialize... Yeah, and she's feeling lonely. Lonely enough she actually wants to sniff and socialize with Dawn Step. That is interesting. Where the heck are you going, Misty Pond? These cats, they never hold still for me for like 2 seconds. I can't seem to do anything with them. Ooh, an Illuminous Salamander! Otter Slip, jeez! And Bear Glow just gave the non-destructive trait. Somehow I think that's a lie. Alright, we're gonna let these two possibly spend a little bit of time sharing tongues. Maybe after Wildpaw has a chance to maybe scratch for a little bit. All right, and then we'll have them share tongues. That would actually be a perfect way to let them get their socialization way up. All right, and then you're going to go visit with your sister. And, all right, looks like, what's going on over here? Be pounced on by Sea Whisper. So Sea Whisper's spending a little bit of time with Stonepaw. Moonpaw is chasing Bear Glow, but I think that these two need to come over and be a little bit serious about fishing for a minute. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. And let's see if Moonpaw manages to catch her very first fish. I think she'd be pretty excited to be able to be splashing around in the water, but maybe a little curious because that's what all cats do. All of the cats go hunting and splash around in the water and try to catch things. And she was supposed to go on these really big, mysterious, secret adventures with Bear Glow. And so does she really want to be stuck having to do something that all the other cats do all the time? I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure if Moonpaw is going to think that that's the most exciting thing in the world. Also, perfect quality. Yes, we can get rid of the chip bag. And yes, we will be lowering the chip bag curse. I think we will have to come up with something else that the cats of Branch Clan can catch because they can't catch chip bags when they are fishing. So maybe if they come up with like the sewer trilobites or the three-eyed fish, there's a huge chance that they could get sick instead. So we might do that as a trade-off, you guys. Or like catch a jellyfish and there's a chance you can get stung. So that'll have to be the trade-off because we don't end up with empty chip bags because most of the Branch Clan cats are not dry cats. They're fishing cats. There's a couple dry cats. Quail is actually a good example of a dry cat who really loves to go and try to fish for, really loves to go and try to get snakes is what I was trying to say. All right. Oh my gosh. And there's a bazillion and a half things over here, Otterslip. What are you doing? You have the luminous salamander, which is a super rare thing. You have a toad. You've got, the thing is she's catching mostly things that are really useful. Okay. We've got 2 tragic clownfish. So I have no idea what we could do with the tragic clownfish yet. So they're all just going to come over here as possible food for now. There we go. And Quail just got a ladybug. Wow. Well, and I think Quail would be a little sad right now because normally catching insects like that is something that the cats will share with their kits, and we don't have any kits, and I think that might make him a little bit sad. All right, and then Stonepaw coming over to scratch on things. Where's Stonepaw's mentor? All right, Night Frost is coming up. She's usually a night hunter, so I'm not... Moonpaw, you just caught your first fish. It's a koi fish. All right, and she improved her hunting skill. So I wonder if that would make her excited about hunting. Does she have anything else? Oh, and she wants to become... Oh, look at this. Catch a beetle. She's getting very excited about the fishing and the hunting. So I wonder if that would make her feel like... sort of torn because she's trying to figure out, oh, and she caught a perfect quality koi fish, no less. All right, you guys, we're gonna have to remember that. That's what Moonpaw's very first catch was. So yeah, we'll have to see. Like an alley catfish, is that a fish? Because, well, it's perfect quality too. We'll have to come up with like a list of fish or a list of items that cats can get when they fish that potentially could make them sick to kind of trade off for the chip bags. Like I said, this first, and did you really just cut a trilobite slate? He did. And Moonpaw just gained the hunter trait. She is a really fast learner. Wow. Holy days. And then a Siamese catfish. Oh my goodness. But yeah, like I keep mentioning, and another koi fish. What is this, Moonpaw? That is so interesting. But yeah, like I keep mentioning, season 1 of Warrior Cats, which will probably last about 100 episodes, expect it to be a little bumpy as I figure everything out. But as it stands, as I mentioned in our current, a shark, really, Branch Star. That's a shark. It's the tiniest shark I've ever seen. It's like, what, a baby shark? Is that a baby shark, Branch Star? Did you just catch a baby shark here? I see how it is. But yeah, the first season of Warrior Cats, and at this point, I have no end in mind for Warrior Cats. And a spotted turtle. Good job, Quail. All right. Woo! And level 9 on hunting skill for Branch Star. That is fantastic. But yeah, at this point in time, I don't have any plans to end the Warrior Cat series. So please have patience while we work through things and we work out like what we're going to do and how the random generators are going to work. Because I am working on them in the background. It's just hard to work on them in the background and also like do all of this stuff at the same time. Let's see. Sniff Honeywish. Interesting. I get the feeling that Trout Shadow is a little bit more adventurous. What are his traits? Again, he is quiet, non-destructive, and a hunter. Whoops. And I get the feeling that he's a little bit more adventurous too. So let's let him go ahead and scratch. And then he wants to actually go hunting, possibly to contribute to the morning hunt. And Quayle seems to be back up in full form. As long as he doesn't go and stumble on like a snake, we should be good. And then Wild Paw is off to go groom with her mom. So yeah. Oh, no! Why do you interrupt her from eating? Okay, finish eating. Please finish eating. Don't stop, Dawnstep. Finish that fish. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so it counted, right? No, she ate the fish. It counted. That was, I yanked it, but it's because I refuse. That's just, I probably shouldn't have yanked it. Normally I try to roll with the glitches when those things happen, but still. All right, and meanwhile, Bearglow, oh, and look at this. Now he wants to sniff Wildpaw and groom Nightfrost, I would say, and sniff Trout Shadow. I would say Bearglow definitely is trying to kind of solidify his relationship with a lot of the cats of the clan. So I'm going to go ahead and let him socialize with Misty Pond and nuzzle with her for a second. Meanwhile, Branch Star is training her up pretty well. All right, and Moonpaw's off to go eat her very first catch of the koi fish. So yeah, Branch Star has worked hard and he is training his apprentice very well. But there's definitely some protest over the fact that he took on Moonkit as his apprentice. And we'll have to see what effects that might have. All right, Bearglow, are you almost done? And once Bearglow is done socializing with his sister, he actually needs to go over to the ruins because he seems to be hunting over there for something quite often. So we're going to send him over there. And then it sounds like Quayle is beating up a goldfinch. I think Quayle is trying to prove that he's back up to full form, that he's feeling good, he's not sick anymore. And I'm going to send Bearglow over to his ruins because he is constantly searching for something over here. What on earth is this? Man, that looks like a rock that Slate would really enjoy eating. So we're going to have to figure out like if we can yank Stonepaw over here. I think Stonepaw is probably going to start feeling a little bit more adventurous and try to find where he might be able to go and find stones for Slate to eat. Also, wilting wolfsbane. Now there's something I didn't think about. These things can wilt. I wonder, I think I might need to buy like some sprinklers for these things because we don't want any of these things to die because they're supposed to keep going. And then there's lots of seeds. I hadn't thought about that. So they're on like a owned lot because we have the cats own this lot. Well, I say this is territory. So what you can do in Sims 3 is you can buy the additional lots that are out in the world and claim them as more residential lots under your family's household. And so we need to take care of those plants. So I'll put some sprinklers down in a little bit. But we're going to send Bearglow over here because he's looking for something in particular. So we're going to see if he happens to stumble upon it and leave him be. All right, Trout Shadow, what are you doing? But yeah, so today is just kind of going to be a very interesting day where we're going to see the fallout of having allowed Moonpaw to become the apprentice of Branch Star. And we're going to see how the cats are kind of interacting and dealing with one another. I think it's interesting that Bearglow almost went and took his frustration out on Dawnstep. And Dawnstep seems to have just barely escaped that. Like she just kind of ducked away from being hissed at and yelled at by Bearglow. So we'll have to see how that works out. All right, so let's see what goes down. All right, and let's see. But then see, Dawnstep wants to play with Nightfrost. She does want to become good friends with Nightfrost. So yeah, it's just kind of stepping back and seeing where the relationships are going to go. And Moonpaw is off to interact with Misty Pond. So yeah, all right, cats. You guys take control for a little bit. And we're going to see, what, a swordfish? Slate, what the heck are you doing with a swordfish? For real? A swordfish? He's been catching swordfish and I hadn't even noticed. Well, he's catching a lot of fish. So as usual right now, Branch Clan doesn't really seem to need to worry about a lot in terms of food. They're well fed as usual, but they better enjoy the peaceful days of New Leaf that they have because things will get a little bit dramatic for them during New Leaf and especially during Green Leaf. Green Leaf is going to be a very stressful season for Branch Clan, but I won't tell you guys why just yet. Just know that there is going to be some balance between the two clans and how difficult Moss Clan had it during the winter, and there are going going to be new events that will be coming up over the next couple weeks where there's going to be whole randomized events for the entire clan to have to cope with on top of all of the plots and all of the drama and everything else that is going on. All right, so what is this, Trout Shadow? Rejected! Oh, rejected for a nuzzle. Ouch, Trout Shadow, ouch. So he just got rejected for a nuzzle by a Sea Whisper. So that's too bad. All right, Stonepaw, where's your mentor? I think that she's going to need to spend a little bit of time training with you, even though she's also getting very, very close to Misty Pond. So it seems like Night Frost has maybe been encouraged a little bit by a certain glowing bear cat to develop a relationship with Misty Pond, especially because Misty Pond is Bear Stars. Bear Stars? That was entirely a slip of the tongue, guys. Don't read into that. Like, seriously. Bear Glow's, there's too many B's. That's my problem. Bear Glow's sister. So Misty Pond is Bear Glow's sister, and Night Frost seems to want to form a relationship with her. But Night Frost also needs to form a relationship with her apprentice, Stonepaw. And it's going to be very interesting to see if Bear Glow starts having some instructions for Night Frost about how to interact with Stonepaw. So we're going to be looking into that, too. All right, why don't you go ahead, give her a good socialize. I think Trout Shadow is starting to try to approach some of the ladies of the clan. He did want to interact quite a bit with Wildpaw too, so Trout Shadow has been showing some interest in Wildpaw too. All right, and Night Frost, you go ahead, and you're going to train with your apprentice for a little while. I love Trout Shadow's tail, by the way. You have such a funny raccoon tail. Dawnstep! Dawnstep was trying to catch something. Were you trying to get the bugs? Were you trying to get the bugs? And you're over here with Quayle again? Dawnstep, why are you always hanging out with Quayle lately, huh? Alright, well, you want to sniff him. Alright. And you, sir, how did you get fleas? Seriously? And he wants to have his mastery on his hunting skill, which would be kind of amazing. So Quayle has been trying to prove that he's a really good hunter. And he does have a spotted turtle and a ladybug for his efforts, but he also has maple leaves, and other than that, not much. So we'll have to see what happens. Alright, so Misty Pond and Otter Slip are hanging out. Alright, and Quayle, let's see, anything else? Do you want to do anything? I think Quayle is just going to go off to eat, so let's see. And you're not going to be allowed to I'll keep that just until you have something else you want to do with yourself, Dawnstep, but now is not the time to go and, like, hiss at things. Your son and Night Frost are also busy training, so Dawnstep, is there anything else you want to do? Sniff Misty Pond? Oh, well, here we go. Moonpaw and Trout Shadow are getting along a little bit. Alright, where's Misty Pond? Let's come over here and sniff her. Alright, and then Otter Slip wants to meet someone new and sniff Stonepaw. And Stonepaw, you need to... No, Stonepaw, where did your mentor go? Stonepaw, you need to focus on training with your mentor. Alright, and he also wants to go off and hang out with his sister. Oh, and he does want to sniff Mossleaf, which I thought I would take note of. Maybe he has heard through the grapevine about another spirit cat that happens to be over in Moss Clan, because spirit cats are very different, and I think it would take the clans a little while to understand what it means to be a spirit cat and how they interact. And then Quayle is freaking out at Slate for absolutely no reason. That's fine. Alright, Trout Shadow, why don't you go ahead and pee? And then go off and stalk for something. Alright, and Bear Glow, are you having any luck over here? He's definitely doing some hunting. So we'll have to see. He caught something. Yeah, he just caught the squirrel, so he should be able to maybe cure some irritating fleas that Quayle has managed to pick up before everybody else in the clan gets them. Thanks, Quayle. And it is slowly but surely drawing into the evening. And in the evening is when Dogaze is going to be showing up tonight. And that will happen in the next episode. But Dogaze will be arriving, and we'll have to see what she has to say about the sign of the stars that she and Mossleaf were both exposed to. And you may remember Bear Glow also was aware about the sign of the stars. And we're going to have to see what he thinks about it too. Alright, are you guys doing good on your hunting? Alright, and he wants to playfully chase. We'll let him playfully chase his mentor. After she pees, she's like, you knocked it right out of me, Stonepaw. Oh dear. But after they're done, then we will go ahead and let them run off. And what's Wildpaw doing? She's off to pounce her mentor. I think she's really wanting... Nope, wait. Who's she off to pounce? Quail-Eye. Oh, that makes sense. Because Wildpaw actually really looks up to Quail-Eye. Because Quail-Eye is always trying to catch snakes and do dangerous, like, daring things. And Wildpaw really, really likes that about him. Alright, so good. And then where are you going? Don't you dare, Sea Whisper. Don't you dare. You put that back. You are... No, where did you put that? You naughty cat, you. Nope, 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 nope. Don't you dare drop those anywhere. You're going to be giving those to Bear Glow. That is too precious. What are you doing? That could be your future kit's, like, rescuing thing for all we know. Naughty. Get over here and do a little bit of stalking and hunting if you're going to be like that. And Stonepaw is having a good time chasing his mentor, which I didn't really think that Night Frost had such playfulness in her, but apparently she does. I think that she would be ready to get down to hunting, though. So let's see. We're not going to sniff its slate. Everybody is really antsy about... I think everybody being antsy about the spirit of the land might indicate that they're getting a little bit antsy about, you know, what the spirits, like what the Star Clan actually wants. Especially after Bear Glow's little announcement that maybe has them on edge. Sea Whisper, what are you doing? Yeah, go stalk for prey or do something useful. Where is Otterslip, actually? You and Otterslip should share tongues. There we go. See, Otterslip needs some help. Come over here, Sea Whisper. Sea Whisper very, very much loves Otterslip and really looks up to her. Alright, so you two come over here and share tongues. And meanwhile, we have some hunting going down over here. Not that the cats really need to do any hunting because they have plenty of fish right now. But I think it is something that they would do to keep themselves occupied. At least until they might find that there are some other issues going on out in the world where they might have to turn their hunting skills and they might have to turn their attention to other places. Oh my goodness, there's like birds everywhere. Poor birds. Alright, well at least there's no venomous snakes just yet. So we'll have to see how that goes. Trout Shadow ate the parakeet. Trout Shadow, that's not good. I think he's one of those cats who's still having a little bit of trouble figuring out how to adjust and get used to being part of clan life. So phooey. Alright, and meanwhile, Bear Glow, you're digging up a lot of empty chip bags. It doesn't seem like you're having any luck finding the rare thing you're looking for, sir. But he does spend a lot of time here at the temple ruins, so we'll have to see what he happens to find. Alright, and Night Frost just caught a goldfinch, and the evening is coming. So, let's see. And it looks like Wildpaw, even though she's been so busy all day, is still distracted with thoughts of Lizardpaw, which is not something I thought would happen. Alright, and Otterslip, did you already go ahead? Oh wow, no, she's still, yeah, she's still running around and playing with Quail-Eye. That's interesting. And Dawnstep, how are you doing? Yeah, Dawnstep's doing good. Where's Stonepaw? Stonepaw's doing some hunting. Yep, alright. Good, and Trout Shadow is taking his hunting a little bit more seriously, and so is Stonepaw. In fact, it looks like he wants to interact with Trout Shadow. So I think Trout Shadow is kind of like Crowfeather in Moss Clan. He's a younger cat and interacting. Oh no, Misty Pond! Oh, Misty Pond is... As you guys can tell, Misty Pond, she's got some things going on for her. She gets startled very easily. She prefers when her brother's around, so I think that she's not enjoying the fact, oh, Misty Pond. I think she's really not enjoying the fact that her brother's not here, and she wants him to come back. Things are not okay when Bear Glow is gone. So we'll have to see what Bear Glow does. Alright, and she's startled. Oh, there's nothing I can really do to help out with that. And then Dawnstep and Otterslip are hanging out together. Good. Trout Shadow just caught a pigeon. And then Misty Pond didn't catch anything when she tried. Alright, but yeah, it looks like the cats are doing well and settling in. And this is very interesting because that's where we do like the role playing at the very beginning of the episode, and then we relax for the rest of it and kind of watch and see. Bear Glow is definitely gathering up the spider, so I'm going to say that he might be preparing and gathering some medicine cat things. So we might get to the point where we'll put some sprinklers over at the that residential lot that the cats now own, and it's part of their territory. And we'll make it so that the medicine cat can properly start gathering some herbs. He doesn't have many herbs over there, but he does have a few, and they might be useful, especially when Dogaze shows up, and when Dogaze might be willing to do a little bit of trading for things like Wolf's Bane, or maybe some of the grapes. I have no idea what the grapes would be useful for. The blueberries and blackberries and strawberries back here might be more useful. And then there's a lot of seeds that they could potentially use for something. Now, Branch Clan cannot plant seeds, but we might be able to do something like the seed generator that could potentially cure the cats. And there is a glowing mushroom, so I know Bear Glow would probably be able to use that for something. But yeah, he's got some things in mind. And now it's finally becoming the evening. So what happened today that really stands out to me is the fact that Stonepaw is doing well with his training. I think Moonpaw was pretty cranky this morning about having to go and do her training with Branch Star, especially so early in the morning. But I think that she's adjusted to that, and she's kind of wondering, if I had to say anything, she's kind of wondering if she had a good time, like she actually had fun just being a training warrior, and if she had fun hunting for the clan. And she might be thinking twice about the kind of future she thought she would have. What? And Quayle, what are you doing seeing deer? Where is there a deer? Where? Apparently there's a deer. Apparently there's a deer somewhere visiting Branch Clan. Who knows? I might have a deer in the caves. And that's really funny because if you guys may remember, who's about to visit? Look at this. Look at this. A doe, a literal doe shows up. And then next time, we are going to have Dogaze show up and come visit the Branch Clan caverns. So, wow, that's a pretty amazing little note right there. So, I don't think we can really take a better sign than that to kind of pull back. But yeah, you guys, a big part of what you can do to make the story move forward and to help all of the advancements of certain things happen is have taken note of what cats interacted and how they interacted and what they did, what they caught, what they ate, and kind of pay attention to that. Moonpaw, for instance, caught herself a lot of amazing koi fish, and she went and she ate the koi fish that she caught with her own hands. So for the very first time, she went hunting, and for the very first time, she ate prey that she herself caught. And I think that that would make her extremely excited. I think that it would make her wonder what it's like to be a warrior going out hunting instead of what it's like to be a medicine cat. And, you know, Bear Glue's made all these big promises to her, but how can he show her that there's so much excitement and so much to do as a medicine cat apprentice when she just had a very hard but a very fulfilling day with Branch Star? And what is Branch Star going to do when it is time to confront the other cats? And if anything bad happens here, if perhaps the cats learn about signs from Star Clan that might show that Star Clan's displeased, will they be angry at Branch Star for having dared to displease Star Clan by making Moonpaw his apprentice? So we're going to have to see next time. I don't think we can get a clearer sign that it is time to step back and then let the doe come and arrive than an actual doe showing up at Branch Clan Caverns. So like I said, take notes in the comments, share it. We build the story together, and that is one of the most amazing parts. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.